So today we are going to make a pencil skirt, a fitted skirt. So I'm going to start taking my measurements now, but before then I'm going to draw a base on the fabric where I'll start my measurement from. I'm going to draw a base so my measurement will be accurate. Okay, and this fabric is very stretchy, so I won't be needing a dart on this skirt. And the first thing to do now is to take my waist measurement. My waist measurement is 30 divided by 4. I have 7.5 and I added 1 inch for my sewing allowance. Okay, I'm going to take my hip line, that is from my waist to my hip. But before then, because we are adding a band to this skirt, I'm going to remove 2 inches for the band. Then I'll start from that line to take my hip measurement. That is to say, I'll remove 2 inches up, so I'll replace that 2 inches with my band. So after that, I'm going to take my hip measurement from the point I got my hip line. So my hip measurement is 38 divided by 4, and I have 9.5 plus 1 inch sewing allowance. So I'm going to take my skirt length and I'm using 25 plus 2 inches hemming allowance, that is 27. And you take the 27 on the other side of the skirt, so you have an equal part. So the next thing I'm doing now is to trace out my measurements. Take a straight ruler, or you can use your hand if you don't have a ruler. So I'll take the measurement down. Remember, I've already included my sewing allowance and everything. So what I'm going to do on the hip area is I'll use my French curve, or if you have a curve ruler, you can use it to curve out the hip area so that you don't get a sharp edge on it. Okay, then blend everything together to be even. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to show you how to blend the waist area. So what you are going to do you know that our waist is not straight, it's kind of curvy, right? Yes, just like our shoulder. We are going to take 1 inch down from that line I drew as in the base. I'm going to take 1 inch down because our waist is not straight. So we are doing it just the way we do our shoulder slope in our basic bodies. So I'm going to take 1 inch down, and on the other side of the skirt, on the seam area, I'm taking in ½ inch. In, not out. I'm taking in ½ inch, that is 0.5 inch, and I'll connect it to that 1 inch I just marked. So I'll connect all through. And the next thing we are going to do now is, so you know that we are adding a band to the skirt, right? And that band will be attached to the main skirt. So I'm going to take 0.5 inch. So we'll join it together with the band, because if you did not take this 0.5 inch, it means you have shortage of ½ an inch, because definitely you are going to join your skirt, the main skirt, with your band. So we are going to take our 0.5 inch on the line I just created. I'm going to take 0.5 inch all through, and the next thing to do is to cut out our front skirt. Our front part of the skirt is ready. I'm going to cut. You have to pin your fabric all through, so you use it to cut out the back part of the skirt. Like I said before, this fabric is kind of stretchy, but if your fabric is not stretchy, you might skip this part. So now we are using this front pattern, this center front, to cut the back. So I'm going to mark my hip line just the way we did for the center front. But before then, please remember to take away your 2 inches for your band. Very important, do not make this mistake. So I'm going to mark my hip line on the back part of the skirt. Then I'll take 1 inch from the waist to that line I marked, and the 1 inch I took is for the zipper allowance. And when I get to my hip line on that side, instead of taking 1 inch for zipper allowance, I'm going to take 1.5 inch. That is extra ½ inch. This ½ inch will make your skirt, your bum, to sit well on the skirt. It will make your ass not to be flat. You can see some people wear a skirt and that part of the bum will become flat. So this allowance I just drew, this 0.5 inch will always make your skirt to sit well. It will make it fitted. It will make it fitted. So after that, I'm going to draw my 1 inch again down to the hem of the skirt. Then I'm going to connect my line from my waist to my 1.5 inch, that hip line. Then I'll connect it to the hem line. I'll connect it to the hem, to the skirt length. That is what I'm doing right here. Connect your waist from your waist to the hip line, then from that hip line to your skirt length. You connect it. You blend. Please make sure you blend with your curve ruler. If you know your hand is not straight, if you know you cannot blend it very well, make sure you use a curve ruler or your French curve. Please, you have to blend it very well so it will be smooth. The next thing to do here is to cut out, because our back part of the skirt is ready. But before that, you see this place I gave 1.5 inch instead of our normal 1 inch for the zipper allowance. Please, another thing is, if you don't have bum bum, please avoid this part so that place will not be empty, that place will not be bulky. Please avoid that part. And even if you added it, you can always trim your pattern or your fabric. You can always trim. Okay, so next thing now is to cut out our band, because our skirt is ready. So I'm going to place my center front on a folded fabric. I'm going to place it, then mark out that part, mark out all through. You know our band is 2 inches, right? But because we are folding the band into 2, it will become 4 inch. And because we are joining the band to our skirt, the front part of the skirt and the back part of the skirt, that is ½ inch on both sides. Then we'll be using 5 inches. I'll be cutting out 5 inches for our band. Don't worry, once we cut it out, fold it together and sew it into the skirt, we will still arrive at our 2 inches. So here we are going to mark out everything on both sides of the fabric. We are going to mark everything out and cut out. There is nothing difficult here, so we are going to cut it out. Here our band is ready. So as you can see, our band is not straight because we use our skirt pattern, we use our front piece to cut out our band. So it means our band is not going to be straight because of the 1 inch we took down. So you can always trim out if you have any excess at all. It's better for you to have an excess than to have shortage, so you can always trim out the excess. And now we are going to cut out our back band. We'll still use the same method to cut out our back band. So we are using the same method to cut out our back band, but remember it will not be on fold because of the zip we are attaching to it. So the thing to do here is to mark out our 5-inch up, trace out the skirt, trace out the pattern, the fabric on the band, then you mark your 5 inches all through, then you connect with a straight ruler and cut out. That is all for our band, our back band. Here our front and back band is ready. So our skirt is almost ready. So what I'm going to do now is to join my pieces together. I'm talking of the skirt. So I'm going to join my skirt together, the side to the front, to the center front, the other right side to the center front. Then the opening, the zipper area will be open. So I'm going to join side to front, the other side to the front. So I've already joined the skirts. I've already joined them and joined the band too. I joined the band the same way, and now I'm going to attach it to the skirt. But before that, I'm going to pin everything together to stay in place. But before that, before sewing it, please make sure you trim out the excess. This is very important so that your skirt will be very smooth. Always trim out the excess. And for the band, you can join this band separately. You can join the front part of the band, that's the center front to center front, side to side, then join everything together. And so please trim out the excess so that it will be flat. I'll use the 0.5 inch to sew the skirt, the remaining part of the band. And here our skirt is almost ready. Trim out the excess. The next thing I'm doing now is to attach the zip to this skirt, and that is the end of our skirt. Our skirt is ready. Oh, our skirt is ready. This skirt is so fine. I use iron zip on this skirt. Remember, I did not add any dart because the fabric is stretchy, and it's looking like this because I've not ironed it. And to be on a safer side, please, you can iron your fabric before cutting it out. So this skirt is fitted, and I sewed it just once. I did not amend this skirt at all. I just sewed it once and it's fitted. And here is our skirt. You can see it's a fitted skirt, no dart, but it's this fitted. Very nice. You can try the skirt out and see how it goes. Try it out.